Game Ball, the ultimate ammunition, providing you with this week's episode of the Tweedl Pod. Hi everybody and welcome back to the Tweedl Podcast. I am alone on this episode. Myself and Charlie went to Llechweddygarth in Wales on Tuesday this week, and so we took the podcast stuff and thought we might as well grab a podcast with the Cambrian Birds boys. So I'm joined by Anthony, Tom and Will. It's a great episode. I think Anthony was probably being a bit humble. What he's managed to achieve with Cambrian Birds in the last 10 years is unbelievable. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the episode. No Rob this time, so bear with me, but yeah, without further ado, here's the episode. Hope you enjoy it. So yeah, I am joined by Anthony Price, Thomas Pluck, and Will Horner. Welcome, boys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lads, you know, obviously Cambrian Birds has become a bit of a beast. We were talking about it today, Will and I, when Tweedl was born. One of the first sort of meetings I called was in what you could only describe as a calf rearing pen with a desk in it to meet Will when you had Sweet Lamb to talk about doing some competition. So I think what would be ace is just to talk about Cambrian Birds, where it came from, and a bit about the story, Anthony, and then we'll get on to what it is today.
So 10th season we're into now.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago, probably started, I thought was going to be a little business, doing a few by myself, no staff, a little bit different now. And so we done the first season, completely sold out to what we could ever imagine in 2 weeks. Didn't even have my own phone at that time. So within 2 weeks, sold out, new phone, everything. Right, that's year one. Ended up having a few pults left. Knew of a little bit of ground, which is now the Ridgeway. Thought, let's try them for a bit of a experiment for the first season.
Yeah.
And here we are today from there, really. So the first year, done 20 little days. And then the second season, we had Sweet Lamb.
Yeah.
Second season, yes, we did.
Were you there at that time, weren't you?
Yeah, so the first year at Sweet Lamb, I came to have a look up and then joined you that February, which would have then been your second season at Sweet Lamb. So yeah, I've been with you 8 years now. Yeah.
Flipping out.
So
Less for murder.
Well,
comment. So opportunities have kept coming all the time.
What do you think? Right place, right time, or just hard work? Bit of both.
Bit of both, and I would like to think that, well, just support from everybody would have dealt with, and from shooting to pults in the last 25 years, just sort of give us a chance to do a bit, and definitely the first, which I will say that the first guy who would ever back me was George Bathurst at Eastern Castle.
Right.
I got a lot of gratitude to him to he said, right, I'll support you, and he did, and that definitely started us off, really.
And so it sort of grew from rearing poults to rearing more and more poults to then owning more and more and running more and more estates.
The poults doubled every year, tripled in year 3. And it's ticked along ever since, really. And then shoots come along.
ticked.
So, so Long Mountain come along. What you think? Oh, that's nice. And then you get that, and then another one comes along. And but Sweet Lamb was a cracker to get us on the map, really.
Yeah, I always remember that, like teams from home going to Sweet Lamb and just coming back, like, because back then, really, I know it's not that long ago. You talk about it, 8 years, whenever you say, but high bird shooting was just really, really growing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really. And when you could get consistent bird at Sweet Lamb like you could in a commercial sense and sell quite a few days and keep doing it back to back to back. Back then, it wasn't really heard of, was it?
No, it wasn't heard of, and it was completely new on the scene. Same as the Ridgeway, really.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big believer in, if you got something people want to have, even on as you can see here today, we've got new drives compared to what we've had before. I'm a big believer every year to have something different.
Yeah,
and I think with Sweet Lamb, definitely it was barren. It was completely madness. Birds, nothing like that in the country.
No.
And a bit like Marmite, yeah, they loved it or he hated it, really.
Do you miss
it was no, I think it was it done it time, and you grew out. It was probably time to to move on. Really, was the honest answer of it. Really, it sort of got us on the map, and then all the dovies come along in the.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say. So you've mentioned Ridgeway, Sweetland, Wells. What else has been on the list of estates?
Yeah, so Ridgeway, Long Mountain, Dovey Falls, which then led on to Pennell.
Is that the correct way? Dovey, yeah?
Dovey.
Diffie, Diffie.
Divey, yeah. Dovey Falls, and Pennell, not Pennell, as you pronounced it earlier. Yeah, Pennell. Now at Llechweddygarth, I think that's the correct pronunciation.
Hey.
And then Stoke Edith as well. So we're 6 estates now. It's changed a bit since the early days.
Kinnerton, or is that not?
Kinnerton, unfortunately, that's not under the umbrella now any longer. But look, it would have been a cracking place, but sometimes these things don't work, and that's what it is, really. So, yeah,
we're fairly busy.
No, I can see that. I can see that. And Anthony, you're not just in birds, are we?
No, we've diversified a bit.
We've got what? Sheep?
Sheep farming. So now, actually,
That's his happy place. Sheep is his happy place.
Sheep and cows keep me. That's my hobby. But we're also now putting it all on the table for the guns. Going to be
Right.
so Pennell and that we're having lamb and all that now. So I want to do it all onto
Full circle.
full circle. So I want to do all the.
It's part of being sort of sustainable, and you're eating lamb at Dovey that is reared.
Yeah.
On the cow, so now we got some beasts becoming ready next week. So it'll be beef here and everything. So it'll be all our own beef or lamb.
And
will
if
be
the
all our own.
gun's short of an MOT,
Yeah, and if they realise when they come here, we can drop them in for an MOT now in the garage. And
What's next?
if they can't shoot very well, we just took on a clay ground now from the 1st of November.
is that hot off the press?
So that's new off the press last week. We've just taken on Dovey Clay Ground, which is up in Mahantlath as well.
Congratulations, mate.
So yeah, we're doing the whole circle now.
Yeah. Never stops, Tom, eh?
Headaches, many headaches.
No.
So when did you come on board, Tom? What's your story with Cambrian Birds?
Well, I actually emailed Anthony. It was off the back end of COVID because I couldn't really do what I was doing before that. So I emailed Cambrian Birds, and within half an hour, I had a phone call from Anthony, and he just said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "Well, I live in Cardiff." He said, "Come to Sweet Lamb," and I went to Sweet Lamb and rode around with him for a day when he was hosting. And 4 years later, I'm here. So yeah, it's just sort of snowballed.
Basically, to start, you come to obviously, Will does a lot of shooting himself in the winter. You come just to take over from Will.
Can I just interject here? Right, I know I don't have a mic. Right, I know I don't have a microphone, but let's not take advantage of that. All right. First of all, the biggest miracle about that is that Anthony read his emails. Right. Okay,
Agreed.
All right. So that's,
We get emails on a Nokia.
yeah, oh no. Second of all, is
modernised.
that he bothered to ring him. Right. And third of all, I did not do anywhere near as much shooting as I was like to. So, but no, I do get a few nice invites. Very lucky.
Once a week's okay. Well,
Once a week is fine.
Once a week's fine.
That would be
Okay.
nice. Not as much as your co-host.
No,
No,
absolutely
no,
not.
we can't all shoot
But he's not
300.
here to
Yeah.
defend himself. So
No, which is why we can say that.
yeah.
Sorry, Tom. I butted in.
No.
I thought it was quite
Sorry,
funny.
we're Tom's story anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it, really. And it's snowballed since then, and can't really leave Cambrian now. It's
No, it seems like you three are sort of your faces of it. I think from the outside looking,
Yeah.
it works well.
Look, the team is. Well, you can't have a company like this without a good team behind you.
No.
Simple as that. And to be fair, through Sam, Jamie. Have you met Sam? Sam and Jamie run all the game farms, and Sam does the Ridgeway, and then Jamie helps both of them do the game farms, and then Jamie looks after Dovey.
Yeah.
So
How many days are you taking teams out a year now? Is that
Shall I do this bit?
yeah,
Between 350 and 400 days we do.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's busy enough.
across?
It's 6
Six.
estates. Yeah.
It's a lot of shooting.
It's a lot of shooting, mate. Yeah, it's a lot of shooting, a lot of birds. There's a lot of organisation. Yeah, a lot of organisation.
Absolutely.
But it's we're getting there. We're getting there.
yeah.
Good old Elle in the office. She'll like a shout out when she.
Very good background.
Yeah, very good backbone. Like inevitably, as you've said, you see some of us very busy on social media, things like that. But you have to because that's the modern day, and you know as well as we do that that's in the public eye. So inevitably, some of us are going to be seen more, but the background is massive. It's not just people often say, oh, here he is and blah blah blah, but there's so many of us behind the scenes that without this, from the keepers today and all the game farm staff and everything, it's a massive team effort. So never want to be put on a pedestal or anything.
No, absolutely. I feel like days like today, you've got a great team of guns. Obviously, they come shooting quite a bit, but I do feel like days like today, you turn up here, you load of takes your guns, you stand on the peg, and it's very, very easy to forget about everything that's gone in. And like every single last piece that's gone into this day happening.
It's the other 364 days that have led up to that one day. And
yeah. And you guys know that. You live and breathe that full circle.
So that's obviously my passion is to, I think today you've done some new drives. That's my passion. That's what I absolutely love to achieve, basically.
Yeah.
New stuff. Something what nobody else has done. That's what makes me want to do the job. Simple as that.
And how, because you are praised for this in the industry, how do you look at a piece of land and go, right, they're doing that way, I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to turn that into a drive? What do you look for?
I think you got to look. It's quite hard. I think perhaps the word I'm looking for is I've done it every other way where I know it goes wrong. Is an honest answer. Same with rearing birds, isn't it? You've done it for so long, right from the beginning with bits and bobs, but like now, you just got an eye for it, really. And do I always get it right? Definitely not.
You did this morning.
Yeah, but you do get it right. An uncomfortable amount
of
the time.
Yes.
I have no idea what's going through your head.
With the times he gets it wrong.
We're
very supportive.
I think you just got to, like here in the past sort of thing, in my eyes, a bird wants to come from where it's not so comfy to where it's comfy.
Yeah.
And especially with this valley, which has been turned around here now, is definitely that. They don't like being on the uncomfy side, which it was always a different way around to that. So we've just changed it all around. And perhaps some people thought I was bonkers, but I think it's going to pay off. And we got some others, what we haven't tried yet, which it's a shame I couldn't have made that one this morning, which sounded pretty...
You've hit the nail on the head there, because I was looking at that second drive this morning going, why on earth would a pheasant be up there? There's a massive...
You and me both. And I was on the line with the radio panicking, like, where are they, Anthony? Where is he?
But then all of a sudden...
I got a few, which I have tried to be here for that, but to be honest, that I was pretty... If somebody said, if you're ever going to bet on it, that's the one I would have said, without a doubt, straight away.
Yeah, no, it was proper, that one.
It was very tasty.
I was watching Tom and you at the back. I said to you, where's he stood? Because I want to watch, because it set off a bit slow, and I was thinking, here we go.
He's basing her out.
A lot of radio chewing, a lot of
He trumped us again. So
good.
So you mentioned before about you bought the local garage. What is the crack with that? Because you went outside the British Shooting Show, and Crofty was with me and went, "You are fucking nuts. What is wrong with you? You've got enough on your plate."
So. It's one of the garage, same thing again, 10 years ago, walked through the door, went in there, so right, I want to pick up. And never bought a pickup before, always had one. Walked through the door, known the blokes all my life, sort of thing. First pickup, and since then, whenever we've wanted a vehicle, they've sourced one, and they've been brilliant to me. And then one day, walked through the door, and somebody else, another company had pulled out of it. And basically, I come back out of there with owning a garage.
He does that quite a lot. He went to see a farmer the other week, and he came out with 20 grand's worth of sheep. So he went for a meeting to talk about pheasants. And came back with his whole flock of sheep.
Yeah.
So he does that. He does that. Yeah.
So you want to buy a competition company,
Don't even joke.
Don't joke.
So, and look, with what it is, and as I've likely said to these lads, we've got to safeguard what we do a little bit now, and we've got 70 or 80 vehicles we run ourselves throughout the companies. So it seemed a no-brainer thing to do. And you can virtually know what your profit or loss within 1 month, which obviously in pheasant world is non-existent. So, and, just to make a business out of a business, basically.
Yeah, it's an interesting point to say safeguarding. Obviously, in Wales, you've been under a bit of fire, haven't you, by the government about shooting? Have you or not? I'm not an expert, but how do you feel about all that?
I hope it's got a long time, because, as a company, we employ excess of 90 people, and I don't actually know what them 90 people would be doing in our area without what we do between the game farms and the shooting.
There's not a lot else goes on out here, is there?
Yeah. No, it's there's
sheep.
There's very
pheasants.
little.
That's it.
I mean, sheep, pheasants,
Not
a little bit
I'd,
of.
Not sure I'd earn a lot of money on a street corner either. So
No, definitely not.
I think you'd be pleasantly surprised, Will.
yeah, I suppose. Well, you never know, I suppose.
You talk of a story anyway.
I'll talk up a story. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I think between ourselves and other sort of shooting companies within Wales, it is of huge economic value, especially in this area. You think all the sort of
Massive.
what's reared within this 100 square miles and the different shoots and bits and pieces there are.
So some of the
invaluable.
So the hotel we mainly use for Dovey and Pennell, we're laying the staff off. Besides the 30 staff, they were laying 15 to 18 of them off because the winters were real quiet, and then they had to retrain them for the next year. But since we've come on to do the shooting, now he has to employ more people for the winter.
Wow. What hotel's that?
So that's the Tinny Connell.
Oh, yeah. By the lake. Yeah.
So obviously,
I had a bad night in there the night before Pennell, and then he put me on humble pie. Do you remember that? Me and Harrison.
Yeah. Yes, how could I forget? And again, it is Pennell, but
Pennell.
Yes, humble pie. You mentioned it in one of your previous podcasts. It's,
I did, yeah.
Yeah, take up golf after that. Yeah. It was. Sorry about that, mate. But
No. I don't think the night in the hotel helped. To be fair.
No.
Yeah, no.
so it's just
But I just feel like obviously we always bang the drum about this in the shooting industry about how much benefit we put in the rural economy, and you don't feel like you're getting much recognition. But I just feel like behind the scenes, if we keep banging the drum, people are recognising all this. That we went to, me and Charlie went to the pub last week in Felixkirk to film that podcast with Andy Britton and them gang, and there was 3 teams of guns in there. And there was when we walked in, you could hear a pin drop, couldn't you? There was nobody in there. And then three teams of guns Tuesday night, the place was absolutely bouncing. And that's happening all over the place.
Yeah. Without a doubt, in word like the Tinny Cornell and that now, it's transformed them for the winter completely.
And I would estimate we had this bit of a roadshowy thing going on when the Welsh government were particularly getting their teeth in. We had that thing when the Welsh government commissioned NRW to do the survey on whether they should license releasing of game birds, things like that. And I remember in that I reckon just on our shoots alone with the hotels that we use, about £1.5 million a year into those hotels in the winter, plus whatever guns likely spend when they're there, which
filling a tank of fuel,
or filling their stomach, with a tank of something else.
Yeah.
So it's a massive deal, which is never to be underestimated. I just pray for all of our sakes, careers and everything else, that the Welsh government and the English government, of course, now being Labour, really, really understand what they would be doing if they got their teeth into it too much, because it's a fabulous industry that helps so many people beyond what we've done today.
Yeah.
We have just on another part of it on our rearing farm side of it, we have up to probably in the region of 50 farms now, which are ranging from council holdings of 60, 70 acres. So it makes them being able to stay at home off a council holding where they'd have to go out to work full time and then do that.
They're rearing birds for you.
So we do a contract rearing from day old to 7 weeks or 14 weeks for partridge.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable in our
50
area
of
now.
them.
Up to 50 now, we would be, yeah.
Flipping out.
With agriculture under its strains as an industry as well, it's a good form of sort of rural business diversification for the farmers for
Yeah.
a few months of the year, they can still graze the ground. They can still do other things with the ground whilst they're rearing on it, and it only takes up sort of 2-3 months of their year.
Yeah.
So,
And also you can, and also on that you can tell how popular it is because they're coming to us all the time. Yes, we advertise, but they're constantly ringing us saying, "Want to do this? Want to do this? Want to do this?" Because if you're doing pheasants, 7 weeks, a week to set up or whatever, week to take down. Let's say 9-10 weeks on a piece of ground, which you can still use again within your agricultural calendar, and you can make a really decent amount of money with us putting all the inputs in, and then within reason, and then they get this money out. It's absolutely fabulous just at home.
Yeah.
So like like the hotels, like the farms, like it just goes on and on, as far as you want to look into it. But like you say, we just bang the drum.
Yeah, and then a lot of them farmers will be here today loading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's not just a seasonal thing for them, is it?
No, it's a.
There's a lad here today loading. He's a chicken farmer. He loaded for me, Ben, and he's been at his broiler sheds this morning. But he has a day out loading every now and again. There's another lad who's a bricklayer, can't bricklay in the winter, so he comes loading. It's non-stop. You even get people like Charlie on a shoot. I mean,
Can I also add that you can't see behind the camera, and we were having a discussion earlier about Charlie because he gets quite a lot of stick on here, and we need to sort of hide his identity because he's very much like the Stig from Top Gear. We described him, but he is literally 14. Yeah. And earlier he's just finished his piece of his 14th birthday cake. He's just finished eating it. So
and actually, I must say this to the podcast. One of the ladies that was shooting today overheard Will say, "Oh, Charlie, I can't believe you're actually 14. It's the first time I've seen you in person." Anyway, this lady must have been like festering over this for the next couple of hours, and she comes up to me at 11's going, "So, how come you're not at school if you're 14, Charlie?"
it's very believable.
He's like, "I was 20 last week."
yeah.
So, plans for the future, boys?
Plans for the future. We're still expanding. Fine-tuning is one of my biggest keys. That's what I'm trying to concentrate on now, because basically we've got hosts for each place. Just trying to fine-tune the company, basically, is where that's my game.
So, P45, P45.
Yeah, thinner chaff out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. Yeah, that's great. Really appreciate that.
So fine tuning everything from rearing to
right the way through
just-
the thing.
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to
I think it's just
to do, and just get out on it, and quite to call in and see guns for a few drives. Got a dove in panel each day. Try to a host some days, but just try to fulfill in the whole lot. Call in, say hello, and try to just make sure exactly what I'm doing. Make sure everything is tickety boo. Because if you host all the time on one place, you don't get to see the rest of it. So try to
and
do
a
it
lot of
all
the
a
guns
bit.
would appreciate you popping in and just making sure
Yeah.
they're happy.
Yeah. Sometimes the keepers don't like me to do that, but
Well,
that's no, it's good. It's good. It keeps it all
I
working.
don't think
and
the hosts
No.
like you doing that.
The
anymore,
hosts-
to be perfectly honest with you.
Or the hosts.
the hosts get a bit nervous when
goes as red as Tom now.
Yeah,
What are you doing here?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Tom,
do-
plans for the future? Sorry, Andrew.
just continue with what Anthony's built, and continue building on it, and like we said, refining and polishing, and just streamlining everything that is already in place, and
what we are very, very what we're trying to do as well is with the new Dovey Playground is to try to we will have a few ducks on there, and that I'm very keen on bringing the younger person in to do a sim day, but do some duck drives on it from September, and very keen to, if we don't keep on bringing the young people into it, the industry's going to drop off a cliff. So
100%.
I'm very, very keen on
it's making it more
making
accessible.
sure it's accessible and affordable for the younger person to get into. That's one of my
Well, we can host a competition free of charge to enter for a peg
I
on a
think
duck day
Yeah,
or something like that.
I think we've got to
Children
just
under-
keep on doing that.
Yeah, under a certain age, that'd be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Will, plans for the future?
Never miss an opportunity, do you? Straight in there.
I've done it before. It's worked well. We did it at Wards Priory, and there was like 15 kids all on a boundary day, and it was just great to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your plans, Will?
Plans for the future. Pay rise? No, just keep going where we're going. It's been a look. When I started with Ant years and years ago, I still had a questionable haircut. It's a bit grayer now. As one of the guys kindly pointed out earlier. But it's been a pleasure to see it grow from, this tiny little thing. Well, it wasn't tiny, but it was small, and now it's like unrecognisable into this beast now. And like Ant said, just fine-tuning everything, getting everything to the best possible standard. With clients' expectations every year get higher. Everything is just, the bar is being raised all the time, and we're just trying to, keep up with that and just give the best possible product to our clients, be that on the game farm, the shoot side, or any of the other businesses in general. So just keep riding the wave, keep looking for ways to diversify, and just keep pushing on, really. That's all, all I can say, I think.
And lastly, the worst thing that's ever happened to you individually on a shoot day. Anthony, you go first.
God, I.
Can we... It's quite hard to say this without getting in trouble, really, isn't it? I don't know.
Anthony's going to say the same thing as I'm going to say, probably.
There must have been
Go on,
some...
you first then, Tom.
No, I'll let you go first. You're the boss, after you.
Yeah.
Well, give him a hint.
I'm trying to think of actually the very last. Thank God I've never had nobody to die on me, so that's
Oh,
good.
God, I don't mean that bad.
Are we allowed to swear? Are we allowed to swear, or do we have to bleep that out, Charlie?
We're allowed.
It's Charlie, because he probably hasn't heard swear words before, has he? You can't hear what Charlie just said, but I won't repeat.
You'll be able to hear it.
You'll be able to hear
it.
it. That's okay then. Right.
Go on, then.
Go on. No. The big boss is going.
Go on.
I'll kick off, but I genuinely, there's so many variables that happen on a shoot day.
There must have been something that's going on with a client or something.
Yeah, there is, but the worst thing that has ever happened is that there's no birds in a drive. That is the worst thing that could ever happen on a shoot day.
Yeah, I suppose when you think about everything that could go wrong,
Yeah,
that's
and when you're on on a 400 bird day and something hasn't gone quite right with a new drive, and literally there's been 4 shots.
for the listeners. That's never happened to me at Cambrian Birds. I don't think it'll ever will.
No,
So
this
stop
wasn't
talking
with Cambrian
yourselves
Birds.
down, boys.
This wasn't with Cambrian Birds.
All right.
This wasn't with Cambrian Birds. This was-
Well,
this
well
was
pointed
previously.
out.
Yeah, this was previously.
Save.
But yeah, that is, as far as I'm concerned, that is the worst thing that can happen on a shoot day.
Yeah.
Is that there's no birds.
I would say that's definitely one of the high topics, and unfortunately enough, I have seen it in my lifetime a few times, and you're like, oh dear, oh dear, this is not good. But look, going just on that note, I've always been a big believer in the truth is always let's move on. That was rubbish. Come on, let's get on.
Yeah.
On that front, and that's what I would like to think we're known in the industry now as truthful, as in
Yeah.
no bullshit approach. Basically,
I'd agree with that.
And
definitely.
but probably my former, before I went by myself, my good friend Caleb Sutton was went to go. Another one I bail out on shoot days as well, so we could go off shooting. It'd be fine. You just go and do that drive. Never been there before in my life. And right, you get out the vehicle. You're like, right, where's the pegs? Where's the pegs? No loaders. All right, so bluffing your way. That's probably my hardest thing. But actually, I did achieve it.
Did you?
Never been on a drive in my life before. Never walked it and walked out. That's why I always say to these guys, what are you worrying about? I used to do drives where I never even walked out on the ground. And
Guns are facing the
at
wrong
Molland.
way, but it's fine,
Yeah.
At Molland, probably
Shots when he did it, yeah.
20 years ago. Walked out, never been in the valley before, and got a clue, couldn't get hold of anybody. I thought, right, here we go. Let's hope for the best. And it did, and it worked. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well,
Yeah, on that.
give us a bit of juice.
Yeah, no. Well, I can't name any names, but on that note, I will add that when I was started at Cameron, Ant was quite happy to let me go and see drives I've never seen actually. So it's not just Ant that's done it. And if Anthony's ever on a day that you are hosting in your younger years, and he ever says, stand that gun next to that patch of rushes in a field of rushes, I will add, it is incredibly difficult being sworn at down the radio. Not that fucking patch of rushes, that one. So, yeah, that's horrendous. Probably one of my... There's been a few. Look, hosting is, without a doubt, the best job in the world and a massive buzz when it's going well.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
It is an emotional roller coaster. The buzz, the highs are amazing. Meet amazing people. You get to see when it's going well. What a great job, But when it goes wrong or it's bad, it's a very lonely place, and you're on your own. And I always joke to the keepers that they can jump back in the vehicles and race off, and you're there looking for a spade to dig a hole to hide him. Yeah. But probably one that sticks out in my mind is we did a day. In my early years, and as Ant said, you learn as you get older to kind of just, the best thing to do is if it's wrong or bad is just go straight up and go, that was shit, we're moving on, and just nullify it, nip it in the bud straight away. They're wild birds. We haven't got remote controls, whatever. But I came off a drive once in my younger years, and of course you're very keen to, you had a good shot there, and you got a couple of. It was crap. The drive was shit. Right? There's no ways about it. It was shit. So I walked up to this guy who remained nameless and had a box of chocolates. And there were celebrations, and I said, so you like a chocolate? And he just turned to me and he said, well, I don't know what the fuck we're supposed to be celebrating. But so ever since I've used Heroes, and we don't use celebrations anymore, that sticks out in my mind. There's been a few that I can't probably mention without getting in trouble, but you come across all sorts of characters. Some are more understanding than others that if things go wrong. And one of my favourite lines probably now is that if someone's out of it, or as much as it rarely happens, as much as we try not to, is I'm sorry the batteries ran out in my remote, and I'll make sure I replace them next time. So something like that. But I think that's probably one that sticks out in my mind. There's been a few things like that are cringeworthy, like pheasants through wing mirrors, windows, all that kind of stuff, which is just horrific. And
that's a variable.
That's a variable. It happens. Yeah. No,
not today. We're
very professional now, Sam, so that doesn't happen anymore.
There was a Nissan Navara with a windscreen put through, sir.
There was, but that was
Saturday.
That was Saturday, yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. So no, and my car's all right. So no,
mine's fine.
Yours is fine. Well, that's you. That's because you park yours behind your peg. Exactly. So it's absolutely fine.
At least he's honest. He only ever bricks them. So
yeah. Well, it'd be good if he could brick them, but
what's he agreeing for?
Yeah, he wasn't even here.
You told him,
yeah. We told. News travels fast. It's nice actually because you've set our pheasants back 3 weeks, shot all their tails off. So everyone's going to come next week and moan.
No comment.
Do you want this back?
No comment on that. What do you think, Anthony's been like the most rewarding part of this whole journey? 10 years time. What is there a state that stands out in your mind that you just think, how the hell have I managed to do this? Or
I can
meeting me.
Oh, of course, meeting with you.
Right, he's not having the mic again. Carry on now.
I think in the last 5 years has just been unbelievable. What the opportunities, what we had when we took on Dovey. And then we only took on Pennell by one of the Pennell farmers, as we call it, Pennell Mafia. That's what they're called.
Well, the Pennell Mafia.
Pennell Mafia. Pennell Mafia. One of them come across to Dovey, and it always sticks to my mind that there's a gang over there, great people, do the little syndicate on the bottom, on some bottom ground. And he come across Peter one day, and he says to me, I've got a little valley. And hence, when I went across to Pennell, there was not one little valley. There was
you knew
4
what
or
that
5.
little valley meant.
It was just unbelievable. Yeah, and
and he just said, "Do you fancy?
Just come and have a look." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" When I went to have a look at that, it was just like, "Oh my god!"
Did you know
we had a new shoot?
Yeah. Had you never been there before?
Never seen the ground. Never seen nothing of it. Never really knew that part of the. Now and again, you just went to the coast, but. Once you started to go into it, within 2 hours, it was like, oh my God, this is just crazy.
And then that's what it is today.
Yeah, that's what's, and he just keeps adding and adding and adding, really. And, you look back at the Ridgeway, Long Mountain, I don't go to them very often, but when you do, because you used to, I find them totally different again, sort of thing. We used to, like Dovey and Pennell, or off mountains, where you go to more traditional Long Mountain.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, the birds aren't that much different. It's just presented in a completely different way. So, have I got a favourite? No, I haven't got a favourite. But
Sheep are his favourites.
Dovey, actually, I have. Dovey goes a long way back because when we took that on, COVID hit,
God, yeah.
and everybody was saying to me to not bother with it. But I had something in my head to go and do it. And it was that was the saviour of that year, really, basically, that we did do it. And so Dovey actually goes back in my heart quite, I've got to definitely, because there was no road network in there at all. Nothing at all.
Yeah, I remember, because the first season I think you had it. Was it you hosted me then?
That's it, yeah.
With Dave.
Yeah, so
Dave was filming, wasn't he?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've done all the infrastructure
I
in
know,
there,
it was
a
a
lot.
bad day for filming.
Always is with cameras.
It was a great day, though. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
Dovey
were
was-
telling us you'd put all the tracks in then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
And-
take the moral of the story is take a risk.
take
Anyone
a risk.
listening? Risk takers.
These lot.
Yeah, he's definitely he's yeah. Yeah, Ant has a great way of ringing you up, and he'll go, you all right? And you go, yeah, and he'll go, good. And I haven't actually asked you if you're all right yet, but he's already answered that bit. And then there's a pause,
Yep.
and you wait, and by this point you know what's coming, because he'll either ring you for that or he's ringing to bollock you. So there's one or t'other. And when he goes, and I go, go on then, what is it? And then the next venture comes, and the next venture, he's like, what do you think? And I say, well, this is what I think. However, whatever I think, you're going to do it, aren't you? And he goes, yeah, I am, yeah. And but fair play, because it's fun, dynamic. I'm quite like to overanalyze everything, think about it, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. And Ant goes, "I'll be right, crack on." And fair play, look where we are, So I take my hat off to him. It's he's got some kahunas,
I think where we are here now is the icing on the cake of what we got as.
Yeah.
I think now this is the.
Do you feel like it was a long time coming, this, you getting Llechweddygarth? Or
Look. Since I've Robert Jones, another one to give me opportunities when I first started, when he had it here and all that. I've always said that this is the most prettiest, dramatic place I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I've always said this as long as I've ever known it. And if somebody said to me 20 years ago, one day you could have Llechweddygarth, I probably would have cut an arm off to get it, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it is a.
There is something
You got to
special
pinch.
about
You got
it.
to pinch yourself with it.
Definitely.
Gives you goosebumps as soon as you drive in.
Yeah, it does.
It's just,
Yeah. So.
And on that note, anyone listening right now can actually win 2 pegs to shoot here at Llechweddygarth, as well as 1,000 cartridges of their choice on the 4th of January,
Saturday, nice day.
2025. Who will be
Prime time.
hosting, boys?
All depends if there's any birds left.
Yeah. If there's loads of birds left.
Fill them with confidence. They will be rushing to get tickets now, Ant.
Yeah.
if you still have guns like Sam, there'll be many birds left.
Listen.
It's fine. It's completely fine.
Yeah. No.
You walked into that one.
So, no, George is going to be the main man for Llechweddygarth. So, he's been with you today a bit. So
Yeah. Good lad.
Very good lad. Very good. He'd be grand. Once we just teach him a few more things. He's done quite a lot of hosting, but it's a different thing when you've got the buck stops with you, as we always say.
Yes.
George
He's a
has
bit of the
learned very quickly.
Cambrian way, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Yeah, we've all been through the school. Small than Soka, Charlie, but yeah, we've all finished our gone through the price training school.
Basically, the dark arts and no problems, only solutions.
No problems, only solutions. Our Cambrian motto.
That's a very true thing. There is no problems. There's always solutions.
You've got to
And
start
if-
somewhere, mate.
And if something goes wrong, put it right, whatever it takes.
The great thing about when you come up to Wales is just, I'm from Dorset originally, and it's great. Lovely shoots, great county, but you come up to Wales and it is just raw. Most of there's a few gun pegs today, but the rest of our shoots, you won't find a single gun peg anywhere. As a host, you're taught by Ant, and with the nature of the shoots, you've got to be switched on, proactive, and you've got to be on. There's no putting guys out, saying off you go, and then blowing a horn. You are, the keepers are the keepers, and it's important that they remain keepers to do their jobs, but you have got to be on the ball, as all hosts do up and down the country, but here is just, so the other day I was at Pennell, and there's your favourite drive down the bottom. Well, one day I was stood 8 pegs one way, and the next time 8 pegs the next. So I've covered 16 pegs in 2 different days within 24 hours. Well, there's not a lot of shoots you do that on, No. You might shift one gun, but Ant teaches us to be incredibly proactive, engaged, involved, and it's a tough school, but it's worth doing it to come through the other side, because it's pretty cool. You know, it's a good buzz. It's a good buzz.
Perfect.
Good. It
Makes me want
I think that was a compliment, I feel, wasn't it?
to. Yeah, no, it's a great way of summarising it. Well done, William.
Thanks, Sam.
Well, every now and again he says something that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. Other than waffle. Yeah.
I did talk about it.
Perfect, boys. I think that's a good little chat.
Brilliant.
You?
Good.
Are you happy?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, very
We'll round it up.
Good.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Enter on Tweedl.com to win 2 pegs to be here with these reprobates. You will shoot a few pheasants, you will miss a few pheasants, but you'll have a bloody good day in the process. New episodes every Sunday. Subscribe, like, do all the good stuff, and thanks once again to Gameball for being the sponsor of the Tweedl podcast. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.
Bye.